time when Samson went to sleep on the lap of Delilah, verse 19 says she called for a barber to come to shave off all of Samson's hair. When he woke up, Samson was captured. Not only captured, but they gouged out his eyes, humiliating him, blinding this man of God. After they captured Samson, blinding him, they brought him into the house of his enemies. This house wasn't for Samson. I told you, some houses you should not go into. Some tables you should not sit at. Some plates you should not eat from. The Philistines planned to humiliate Samson and praise their God for this so-called victory. But verse 22 tells me his hair began to grow back. See, too many times, people of God, after you fall publicly, some folk don't think you're going to come back. They think that's it for you. But there has to be something on the inside of you that's going to grow back in spite of what just got cut off. The world tried to cut it off, but God is going to make it grow back anyway. You need to know this morning, Asbury, Samson was setting up for a big comeback. That's why you can't ever underestimate a child of God. When you think they are down, God will allow them to grow back. You don't know what's left in me. I know what happened in 2009. It did not kill me, because you don't know what's left in me. 2010 should have been the end of it. But guess what? You don't know what's left in me. I'm still standing. I'm still making it, because you don't know what's left in me. I could have been dead, sleeping in my grave. But by the grace of God, I'm standing here, because you don't know what's left in me. They humiliated Samson. They took his eyes out. They revealed his strength. They humiliated him. They left him for dead. But they made the mistake of not killing him and letting his hair grow back. With his hair growing back, Asbury, so did his strength. You don't know what's left in me, and it's going to grow back anyway. They should have killed me, but now I'm coming back. They should not have let you come to church this morning, because your faith is growing back. Yes, they didn't knock you off, because you're growing back today. They saw you when you were down, didn't even try to help you. They talked about you behind your back, but now God is letting you come back. So while Samson was getting ready for the comeback at the festival of his enemies, the Philistines not only insulted Samson, but they insulted Samson's God. Watch this, Asbury. You want to know what's inside of somebody? Try going after what they love. You'll see a side of them that you never saw before. Try to attack what they hold dear. You'll see what's really left in them. The Philistines began praising their God and mocking the God of Samson. That's the same God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Our God was going to prove himself through his servant named Samson. They went after what Samson held dear. And with his final breath, he asked God for victory over his enemies one last time. And that's why when the Philistines were building Samson's demise, my God was building Samson's redemption. God was setting Samson up in a way where no man could bring him down. Watch what he does. The text says in verse 26, they moved him in between two pillars. God was setting him up right here. In getting in between two pillars, Asbury, he needed assistance to stand correctly. He was blind and couldn't see where he was going. But that's okay, because God was setting him up. Samson wanted to feel the pillars which supported the temple so he could stand. Samson made his enemies believe, because he's now blind, that he can only need the pillars to help him stand up. But knowing where the pillars are, put him in the right position to do what God needed him to do. I told you God was setting him up. Now, Asbury, if you still don't get it, let me explain like this. Pillars stood in the temple. The pillars were large columns that stood in the middle of the courtyard, and the roof was supported by the pillars. The spectators in the place always gathered around this one area because it was the best spot to see what was going on. If you want a good spot, go by the pillars. But if the building came down, it would only be because the pillars had fallen. Oh, don't you know, my friends, in this life, God will put you in between some pillars. He will put you in the right position, not to punish you, but he's doing it so you can bring the house down. You want to know why you were exposed to so much growing up? God needed you to bring light to some dark situations. What you thought were moments of embarrassment all your life were actually moments of positioning. God was setting you up. He was putting you in position to bring the house down.